First up to the latest on the release of the Indian national Hamid Ansari from Pakistan and his repatriation to India. Wion getting you now the first and exclusive visual of the Indian national Hamid Ansari after his release from the Pakistan jail. Remember, he was lodged in that jail in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Pakistan for the last 6 years. He was handed an additional 3-year term even after he'd served 3 years in prison. That was in 2015. His jail term ended on December 14, and he was supposed to make his way to India. And today, over the last few hours, we've been tracking the minute-by-minute developments regarding Hamid Ansari's release to India. He is crossing over to India through the Wagah border. He has already arrived at the zero line. The 33-year-old's family has been waiting to receive him at Amritsar city. Ansari has been imprisoned in Pakistan for the last 6 years. Hamid Ansari had crossed over to Pakistan in the year 2012. He'd served 3 years in jail, after which he was given an additional 3-year jail term, which ended just 3 days ago. After which the formalities regarding his return were completed. Several questions, though, remain on the charges that were placed on Hamid Ansari. Remember, Pakistan's foreign ministry yesterday also had called him a spy. He had crossed over into Pakistan to meet a girl that he had befriended online. That was in 2012. And these are the first images that we are getting to you of Hamid Ansari finally being released from Pakistan. He's already reached the zero line and will be crossing over into India finally after that 6-year-long ordeal. Let's get in further details from our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who's been tracking the very latest as well. Siddhant, throughout the afternoon, we've been tracking the minute-by-minute developments regarding Hamid Ansari making his way from Pakistan to India. Tell us the latest. We already have that first image of Nihal Ansari. This is 6 years after he was last seen by his family.
Well, yes, the ordeal is finally over, from Mardan to Lahore to finally at Wagah. In few moments' time, we will be getting visuals also of him meeting his family. We earlier saw those visuals of his mother clinging to the Indian flag just moments before the meet is to happen, because we know the meet still hasn't happened. And of course, we have been reporting not from today, but for a year ago, when Wion was one of the first channels to break this story that Ansari is in Pakistan. Pakistan even refused to acknowledge that Ansari was in Pakistan. He was a man in love who went to Afghanistan, and from Afghanistan he went to Pakistan on a fake passport. According to a military court there, it said that he has been imprisoned because of having fake IDs, not because he was a spy, which of course the Pakistani establishment was trying to say, because we saw that tweet by the spokesperson of the Pakistan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who said that he's a spy, but their own courts, their own military courts, which are not very transparent and not up to the mark of international judicial system, saying that he has been imprisoned because of having fake IDs and fake passport. But whatever said has happened now. Today is the day of happiness and jubilation, because finally he gets to meet his family after 6 years, more than 6 years of ordeal. He was arrested in November of 2012, so it's December of 2018, and he, of course, was imprisoned for 3 years also, even though he had already been in jail for 3 years. And, of course, India trying its level best to get consular access. India asked Islamabad 96 times. That's a record of sort to give consular access. But Pakistan clearly said no. I can give you a few facts also. This year, Hamid Ansari is the second Indian civilian to be released by the Pakistani establishment, while in last 4 years, starting from 2015, Pakistan has just released 14 Indian civilians, and of course India has released a whopping 124 Pakistani civilians in last 4 years. So that's statistics I've given, and you can see the difference also, 14 versus 124.
Right.
But the key fact is how this person can be a symbol of the prisoners, Indian and the Pakistani prisoners who are languishing in respective jails.
I was just coming to that, Siddhant, because, Hamid Ansari was lucky, but there are multiple Indian prisoners still languishing in Pakistani jails who have not been lucky enough. And this is in spite of their completion of their jail sentence. Hamid Ansari also had served 3 years, as we've been telling our viewers, and he was granted that additional 3-year term in 2015, which finally ended. But of course, this is a case which is symptomatic of a larger problem here.
It's a symbol of a larger problem, but Hamid Ansari can become a symbol of a solution that can help so many people who are languishing in each other's jail, and this needs a humane perspective. This is what Jitin Desai, the key person, the journalist who was instrumental in release of Hamid Ansari, who ran from pillar to post, whether it's in New Delhi or Islamabad, and of course the civil society also. He lauded the civil society and the media on the both sides of the border for bringing this entire case into light and finally letting the release happen. In Pakistan, basically after his release was over, had no option but to release. That was what the MEA sources told me a week ago, and finally his release came yesterday. I spoke to the mother, the father and Jitin Desai just a few minutes before they were to board a bus from New Delhi to Amritsar, where of course they are today to meet their child. They of course were tearful, emotional, but what Jitin Desai said was this fact only: how these prisoners need a humane view. These prisoners need to be released, especially those who have completed their terms. It was just a case of a love gone wrong. Perhaps it was basically, it seems as if he was, of course, he went to Afghanistan. Of course, he got caught here, and of course, Pakistan tried to charge him on a spy case. But basically, a humane look to the entire case would have helped Hamid Ansari a lot, and he could have been released earlier, much before the 6 years he wasted in Pakistan.
Right, and just to tell our viewers, those are the first visuals, first images of Hamid Ansari after his release from that jail in Pakistan, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He was languishing in that jail for the last 6 years. He was last seen by his family in 2012. After which he had left for Afghanistan to then cross over into Pakistan. He told his family back then that he was traveling to Afghanistan for an employment with a company there for job purposes. The family was apprehensive, but at the same time, this is, of course, the intention for Hamid Ansari to cross over into Pakistan was to meet a girl that he had befriended online. And this is the case which has dragged on for the last 6 years. Even after he'd completed his jail term on the December 15th, his legal documents were not ready. But today is the moment when finally his family gets to see Hamid Ansari 6 years after he was last seen by them. We're going to leave it there for the moment, Siddhant. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with all of those details. We'll, of course, keep getting our viewers the latest coming in on Hamid Ansari's reunification with his family in just a short while from now.